You got a second gen Sequoia or Tundra, you can do a do-it-yourself installation in 30 minutes to go from this to this. Updated CarPlay head unit. Super easy. The install should only take you 30 minutes. Once you watch my video, it took me 3-4 hours, but once you watch the video, it'll only take you 30 minutes. And for those curious about the fit, so now that it's all back together, here's the bezel on the back. It hugs the dash real good. It actually fits extremely well. I mean, it looks like it's from the factory. This video, I'm going to show you step by step how to remove all of this, get the new system installed, get it wired up, and tell you what I think about it. Let's see what came with this new system. All right, first section is this. Looks like it's form fitted with some sort of custom bezel to go right around there, so it looks factory. We've got all of these wires and connectors that should be plug and play, I think, to the factory setup. And I think they included a screen protector. Is that what that is? All right, before we get to any of this, we got to take the old setup off. So let's start there. First time doing this, so I don't know exactly what's where. I'm going to start by taking this trim piece off. Let's take this off first. You just pull up here, slide out. Next, we're going to take this trim piece off, and I've got it in neutral. You don't need to start the truck, but just, there we go. So you pull it a little up and a little this way. And you want to disconnect all of these connectors back here. 1, 2, this might look different based on which switches your truck has. All right, we got all those off. Oh, I need to go down and drive. There we go. I'll put that back in park. I'm gonna turn the ignition off. I think next we're gonna have to take this panel just a little bit forward. It looks like this is all one piece out to maybe, I don't know how far it goes, but let's try to pull it up. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I'm just gonna leave this hanging here. What I really wanted to do is see what's back here, and you do have to remove this or bring it forward because there's a little lip here that's attached to this, and then there's some lips here that's attached on this side. So we'll just leave this hanging for now. Next thing we're gonna do is pull this guy out. There we go. I'm gonna disconnect the 2 cigarette lighter adapters. Put this piece away. And let's see. I think this whole thing maybe just clips in. Yep, there's that. Trying to be gentle because whatever this middle part is kind of flimsy. All right, how does this come out? Okay, good stuff. All right, it looks like I'm gonna pull right here. I'm gonna pull towards me. All right, right there. And I'm gonna try to put this finger right here. There we go. So that pulled straight out. I don't think I need to disconnect any of these because I don't need to put this away. What I wanted to do is get to the mounting stuff for this. And if you look down here, there's one 10mm bolt there and one here. I wonder if I need to undo the ones that are way back there too. There's one way back there and then the same spot on this side. I'm gonna try to undo just these first 2 silver ones and see if it comes out. If not, I'll undo the other 2 in the back. We did have to take both sets of screws out, so we got all those out, and the bottom is loose. And I'm guessing the top just, yep, clips in. There's that. It's a big old hunk of chunka, so don't drop it. You gotta hold it while you disconnect all of these clips. There we go. There we go. There's a lot of them. They should all be unique connectors if you ever want to put this back, so I think they'll only go in one place. This is what we're left with, so let's take a look at the new system and the wiring. All right, first let's see how this fits. So these 3 clips go up there where the factory one was. Oh, wow, that's a really easy fit. Okay, and then it looks like the bottom doesn't use those screws, it just has these clips here that probably stay there and then clip behind that larger piece. Now we're going to take the second harness we purchased that is separate from the primary radio and what arrives with it. This is what the part number is on it, CAN004-X-FD. Depending on the radio you have and the year and model of your Sequoia and Tundra, you may need a different adapter, different cable set. This one looks like this. It also comes with this guy that is for one of the connectors there, and it should have all of the connectors we need to plug into the factory harness. So I'm going to go through one by one, plug them in, and let's see what fits where. All right, I'm over on this side of the car. I got everything that lined up plugged in. On my particular vehicle, this doesn't go anywhere on the new harness. This one doesn't go anywhere on the new harness. And this one does not go anywhere on the new harness. Everything else plugged in. Now, what I'm gonna do is I grab the new head unit. On the very back, there's, looks like just 3 things that plug in. One connector goes right here, which is this black one right here. Then the antenna connector, which is this one, plugs in right here. And then this little dongle that connected to this gray connector, this one goes right here, and that small one right there, the 4-pin. There's 1, 2, 3 unused connectors off of this aftermarket harness, and there's 1, 2, and 3 unused connectors off of my factory wiring. Got everything plugged in, so that's there. I actually missed this one. It was hiding behind some other things. That connector, the small one, the antenna, and I'm just going to use these 3 tabs at the top, put them in these 3 holes up here, just to let it sit there. Ooh, that already looks good. And we're going to turn the key and pray that nothing blows up. Key on. Did I turn it on? Oh, yep, there it is. Wow, this looks so much better. All right, let's see if any of the sound works. Nothing's really set up. Let's try radio. All right, I didn't put that section of the video on because it has copyrighted music and YouTube doesn't like that. But the volume worked. The bass and the default setting, whatever this is, sounds like it's a little too high. I can make those adjustments later. And all of the speakers, front, center seat, and the back seem to be working along with the subwoofer, so that's good. I'm not going to start the truck because I'm in the garage. I don't want to suffocate, but I went ahead and put it in the ignition on position, and we're going to put it in reverse. I got lines, and I don't have video feed. All right, I figured it out after an hour of fiddling. Let me show you. So you've got to plug in this harness right here. That's the little 12-pin connector. It has 2 little blue wires coming off of it, 1 yellow wire for the video, and then connect it to the rear camera video wire right there, and that gets you a reverse camera feed from the factory camera, which is awesome. Now I'm going to plug in this harness too, and there are 3 more wires here. I got 2 audio wires, this red one down here, this white one, and this yellow one. That's for the auxiliary video, those 3. This one's mislabeled. It says, yeah, it says back video. Maybe it's talking about the monitor, right, in the back, the video DVD thing on the roof. I'm going to plug those in, and if it's logical, and this is set up and labeled in a way that makes sense, I bet those are for the TV in the back. Like so. Auxiliary left in goes to auxiliary left in, auxiliary right in. This little thing right here, it looks like it's got a slot for a SIM card. Let me see if I can open it here with one hand. There we go. These other unused ones, all of these guys, I am going to tape those off before I put this guy back in the dash. Now, if you want the USB wires connected, it's got these little dongles with the USB on them. You can plug them in and just route them under somewhere. I think I'm gonna plug them in and maybe leave them routed in that little slot I have right here. That way they're just there in case I need them. I was able to plug one of them in, which went right there. Looks like the other slot, which is that right there, actually connects over to this wire that goes to this gray connector. So my assumption is that goes to the factory USB port that is generally right around here, the auxiliary and USB connection. So I think that's where that goes. So that's good. I guess the factory USB connector should still work. We'll find out when we put this back together. And then the second wire, I went ahead and brought it down and it's just hanging. Let's see if I can grab it. It's kind of curled its way up there. It's gonna be right here. I think it got pulled when I pulled this monitor back out. So it's gonna be right here in the slot in case I ever need it. Now we're gonna connect the two antennas that came with it. This one right here is gonna go to this guy. It says GPS. And this one right here is gonna go to this one that says 4G. 4G. Maybe that is for a SIM card. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the antenna anyway. Those are both connected. And the only other thing that you can connect is the external mic for the phone function. I'm gonna try it with the factory mic first and see how it works. See if people on the other end can hear me. And if you do that, and the voice quality is not that great on the other end, like the people you're talking to, if they can't hear you well, then the next best option is to install the factory mic. It has a little connector there, which plugs in right here to that guy. And then you just want to route it out and put it somewhere that, is somewhat close to where you are. You can tack it on the dash somewhere, put it right here somewhere. It doesn't really matter. I try to hide it if I ever do have to install those. I'm going to try without it first and see if the factory mic picks up well and works well with this system. So now the GPS antenna, this 4G antenna, and the GPS antenna, where is it? It's back here. I'm going to try to stash them back there and keep them hidden under there, and we're going to put this screen back up and see within the first day or so if GPS and everything is picking up a signal well. If not, I may come back and take that GPS antenna and kind of try to mount it up here somewhere right below this plastic. And it has a little double-sided sticky tape. You got tons of space right under here, and this is plastic, so it's not going to block the signal. So you can just clean up a little spot with an alcohol pad and take off the film from the sticky pad and just stick it up there. For now, I'm just going to leave it hanging back there. If it picks up, fine. I'm going to leave it as is. So now that all that's done, I'm going to gently take all of the wiring and place it in there. Then you want to take this guy, and these three tabs should line up with the three holes that are right here, right there, and right there, where your factory one went. Line that up, snap it in. Now that that's snapped in, it's nice and firm. I'm going to go back and one by one reinstall all of our different pieces. First, we've got our AC controls. There's two tabs on the back. Those two yellow ones, they're going to line up with the two holes right underneath the new stereo. Oh, looks like the plastic film's going to get behind there. So let's go ahead and take this off. I was waiting as long as I could so that I had some protection on there, but that film's going to get difficult to remove once we put that AC control unit back on. So we'll go ahead and get that off. Looks like there's a separate film on there as a screen protector. I'm going to leave that alone for now. All right, get this lined up. Got that snapped in. I had to hold the back of this screen right here from the back while I pushed on this part to get that clip in. Got that one in, and then the bottom. So now it's nice and firm, and this top part's nice and firm. Next is this little cubby. Make sure you plug in the 2 connectors for the cigarette lighters, and then it just snaps right in. That's in. Next is our shifter surround. You've got to plug all of these connectors in, which are the ones back. Oh, there they are hiding right there. And don't forget, you've got to turn the ignition to the on position and put the shifter in drive so that you can wiggle this thing around it. Almost forgot, before you can put this in and snap it in, you got to get this trim piece back in. So gently line it up with the clips behind there, get it snapped in. All right, that's good there. Just kind of push along everywhere. If you don't get all the clips in, you'll end up with a bunch of creaking later. All right, that's in. Now this one, it goes into those holes, so you want to push it that way, and then once it gets far enough forward, there are these white clips down here that go downwards. So gently line it up like so, right there. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. All right, that's lined up, and I'm gonna push the bottom ones in. Okay, perfect. And we'll push these in, push that in, and there's one last one that goes in here, and that's this guy. It's a little push clip, so take the center part out, kind of put these claws back together, push it through the hole, and then push this back in or screw it in. There you go, just like that. So this is all in. Next, oops, get my tools out of there. Next, we've got this big section. Let's see, which is this guy. So open up your center console lid, position this here. That side goes in first. Line everything up here. Make sure it's lined up on all the edges. Push forward, so that way. And then push down here. Clip, clip, clip. Okay, that one's done. You know what I just noticed? There's no hole here to get my USB cord through. I'll have to drill a little hole. I'm gonna put a little hole right there later on to pull that USB cord right through there in case I ever need it. In the meantime, let's get the cup holder in. It just goes right on top. Clips in. Let's close that center console lid. And our last piece, I always call this a gun safe. I don't know what else you would use it for. If anybody knows what this slot's for, in the comments, could you please tell me what on earth this is for? Is there something that goes here, some kind of accessory? I would love to know. It seems kind of pointless. Otherwise, maybe it's just a gun safe. Who knows? So, there we go. That's there. We are, let's see, officially done. So, let's do a wide angle shot. There you go. This 2018 Sequoia is now up to date and looks like it belongs in this century. That's it. So now I'm gonna hook up my iPhone to the CarPlay and let's see if it works. We're gonna go to Bluetooth. We'll go to settings. That is the device name. It's gonna show up in your Bluetooth. That is the pin code 0000. We want auto connect on, power on. I don't want auto answer on. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my phone and find this device and connect to it with the pin number of 0000. Then you've also got Play Store. You can log in with your Google account and download different applications and such. Google Maps is already on here. I might download Waze, and you know what? Actually, I'm not going to download anything. I'm just going to use CarPlay. I don't need any of that. I guess this is an actual Android head unit. If you don't want to use CarPlay or Android Auto, you could just go to the Play Store, download all your apps, and just tether or put a SIM card in that little box in the back, and this thing will always be connected to the internet. Yeah, I have no reason to use that. I'm just going to use CarPlay. You've got your home button up here. Power, what does power do? Oh, it mutes it. Okay. You've got another home button here. It's kind of weird. Your back button here. There's also a back button up there. You've got your volume up and down if you don't want to use the steering wheel controls. This little arrow, I think it just hides that bar at the top. Yep. And you slide down to get it back. Here, what does that do? Oh, just shows me what's open. And I can close my apps. If I want to close them out, get rid of them. All right, that's it. Oh, and time. I had to figure out where that was. Let me show you where to set your time and your date correctly. So go to settings, go to Android settings right here, go to settings, go to the top, network and internet, go to Wi-Fi, and right now it's off, but connect to your home's Wi-Fi. This is the easiest way I found to set the time. Then go to System, down here at the bottom, Date and Time. And the first thing I did, I went to Time Zone, right here. Sorry, not that one, this one. Find your country and set your time zone. I'm in Central Time Zone, which is Chicago Time Zone. And then up here, automatic date and time setting based on the network provided time. So as soon as I hit that, it automatically changed to the correct time and the correct date. Much easier than trying to go through and do it manually. I'm curious to see if that miles per hour works, and I'd also like to change that car icon. That's obviously not a Toyota Sequoia. So let's check the reverse camera. Put it in reverse. All right, all works there. So what I had to do here, sorry, turn off my parking sensors. By default, all of these were on. So I disabled these guys right here. Those lines. Yeah, that's fine. So I disabled those because it was showing the lines that this thing comes with. And this one here enables this thing with the sensors front and rear. On your car, it might work, might not. Try it, see if enabling that shows where the front sensors, rear sensors are picking anything up. On mine, this didn't pick up anything. It probably depends on the CAN bus signals coming into this thing, but I still have the display on the dash, so that's fine. I went ahead and disabled that. Got a big, massive screen instead of that little tiny one that was smaller than my cell phone screen that shows the reverse camera, and it's not like super 1080p or anything, but that's great. That's awesome. So my helper here is going to put something on the factory TV back there, whatever DVD was in there, and we're gonna see if we can get the volume to work through the head unit, because there were some auxiliary inputs on that dongle that I had purchased and showed you guys how to install. So we'll give them a second to start that up. So I think I need to go to aux, so I went to apps and scroll back and forth, find AUX, and we got volume. Yeah, volume's on. I wonder, well, this is auxiliary video too. Maybe other input? What does that do? It should be the DVD, I think. No. I wonder. Well, the video is playing and the remote's working, so this thing's got power, it's functioning and everything, but I can't get the sound to come out of the head unit. I'm gonna keep messing with that and see if I can figure out how to get the volume to work on the head unit there to come out of the car speakers. But worst case, it still works, and you can still use the wireless headphones, which usually if this is on, the kids have the wireless headphones on anyway. So it all still functions, which is great. What I was worried about is that this whole thing would stop working if we replace the head unit. But the DVD is up here. You've got the infrared sensors that give you the signal for the wireless headphones. All of those function correctly. The remote works. So all of it's working. I just can't get sound to come out of this thing. If I can, I'll put it down in the comments later or in the description on how I got it to work. But the main thing for me was that the TV screen and the DVD function actually worked, which it does. The sound works through the headphones, the remote works, and I've got reverse camera, which is important because I didn't want to have to wire a new reverse camera. And for those curious about the fit, so now that it's all back together, here's the bezel on the back. It hugs the dash real good. It actually fits extremely well. I mean, it looks like it's from the factory this way, right? Looks awesome. I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I think there's a lot more that I wanna show on that new head unit. If you'd like to follow along, hit that subscribe button and that notify bell icon, and I'll post another video with all the updates. There's a lot of little settings in there I've been going through that I think would be helpful for you guys to see in the factory settings, the amplifier settings, the volume settings, all of the little things in there. In the meantime, love you guys. See you next time.